Hi, my name is Santiago Ascanape, and I run a very humble multimedia company called MOLSI Media, M-O-L-S-I, MOLSI Media. And sometimes in the entertainment world, in the world of multimedia, I go by the pseudonym Jack Molsi, M-O-L-S-I, Jack Molsi. And today I'm here to talk about my big idea for the interactive movie theater experience. The interactive movie theater experience. I think part of the problem why Hollywood's not doing as well as it could be, it had a great summer this past summer, but prior years, couple years before, weren't so hot, because the movie experience has become one that is too passive. And if we make it more interactive, that'll be an easy fix to draw more people into movie theaters. I love movie theaters. I think they're a sacred institution. I want them to be around for the next generation. And in order to protect the movie theater, the way we protect it is to change it. Now, traditional movies and traditional viewings will always be there, but as an extra asset, as an extra option for the consumer, more choice for the consumer, as far as when they go to the movie theater, they can have the option of seeing an interactive movie. Experience an interactive movie theater experience. Now, the way it works is very simple. Once upon a time, there was a very great TV show by the name of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on ABC. And Regis Philbin would ask the contestant a question. If the contestant didn't know the answer to the question, then he could poll the audience. There was a feature called Ask the Audience. And everyone in the studio audience had a little piece of hardware on their left or on their right, and they would weigh in by hitting option A or option B or option C or option D as to what they thought the correct answer was. And you could see it on the screen, the percentages of who voted how, and the contestant could take that information and go from there. Now imagine in a movie theater setting, where the consumer, the customer is sitting down. He's got his Mountain Dew to the right of him in the cup holder, and to the left of him is that little piece of hardware with A and B on it. And the protagonist, the main character of the movie, turns to the audience, the theater-going audience, and asks them for help on how he should solve a potential problem. So Mickey Mouse polls the audience that's watching the movie. Should Mickey marry Minnie? Or should Mickey find a new girlfriend? Hit option A for Mickey to marry Minnie. Hit option B if you think Mickey should look for a new girlfriend. And it's going to be an incredible process, because the audience is going to be very engaged in the outcome, because they're not just being indoctrinated by passively watching content. They're involved in the content, and they get to somehow, some way, dictate the outcome to the content through mob rule, through democratic input. Now, it's going to encourage multiple views, because let's say at the 5 o'clock showing, you showed up and you voted for Mickey to marry Minnie, but percentage-wise, you got beat out. And now Mickey's searching for a new girlfriend, so you didn't get to see the ending to the movie that you wanted to see. Well, there's another showing at 7 p.m. So get back in there, and this time bring 5 friends, bring 5 similarly minded friends, and that way you'll have more influence, you'll have more say on the outcome of the movie, and hopefully you get the ending and the outcome that you desire. Now, if you go to multiple showings, and you go to multiple viewings, you can even go to different states and in different cities, because the outcomes in rural America are going to be different, very different from the outcomes in urban America. If you still didn't get the showing you wanted, then you wait for it to be D2C, direct to consumer, or you buy the Blu-ray or the DVD, and then you watch it at home, and you dictate the movie, choose your own adventure, chapter by chapter by chapter by chapter, until you get the ending that you knew was there and the ending that you wanted. I get to off this character. I get to reward this character. What themes get rewarded? What types of messaging gets rewarded? It's going to be an extremely innovative concept that's going to refresh the movie theater going experience, and it's going to make people excited, ravingly excited about going to theaters and getting their 2 cents as to how some of these favorite characters from your brands behave on screen due to the influence of the consumer, of the viewer. Now, it took a very long time for movies to go from black and white to color. It took a very long time for it to go from 2D to 3D. It took a very long time to go from silence to sound. And that was all fantastic progress. But eventually there's going to come a time where not just Jack MOLSI or MOLSI Media is thinking about putting this concept together. Eventually bigger fish are going to get into it, and we cannot get behind the 8 ball as far as progress, as far as innovation, before it's too late. Because I truly believe this is outstanding progress, comparable to the 2D to the 3D, or the black and white to the color. And it's really going to revolutionize the movie theater and the movie theater going experience. Now, my 2 cents is I know that the industry executives are going to be very concerned about causing a disruption too quickly. And there's always the balance of innovation versus heritage, and you don't want to move too quickly when something is already going pretty well the way it's going now. Well, you still have to get, we don't want to put the cart before the horse, but you still want to move in that direction and quickly, and be prepared to declare yourself the innovator in this department, which is going to be there in the future, not too distant future. So you want to get ahead of the game and be as prepared as possible. So just like Walt Disney, even though he was competing with a few other people when he innovated the animated film, still to this day, 90 years later, 95 years later, Walt Disney can claim we pioneered, we innovated. Walt Disney Company can claim we innovated the animated film. Well, years from now, you want to be able to say we innovated the interactive movie theater experience. And the way we prevent rushing into it and causing an unnecessary and needless disruption, premature disruption of something that's already working, is we test it out, or we showcase it at one of the many theme parks, whether it be in Anaheim or in Orlando. Disney has the parks available so that we can easily test in a short movie. We're not going to take 2 hours of the park attendees' time by sitting through a whole movie, but for 10, 15 minutes, they get to engage in the interactive movie theater experience by clicking A and B and dictating the outcome of the story, and you're going to see they're going to love it. And there's going to be an excitement to this theme park attraction like you wouldn't believe. And then eventually it'll lead from theme parks to, I believe, eventually every single movie theater in every single humble rural town is going to have this technology, this hardware, next to the mountain, on the other side of the Mountain Dew and the other side of the cup holder in the movie theater. So the beauty of it is that Disney, the Walt Disney Company, has the parks ready to go, and they have the Imagineering department, which is headquartered in Glendale, and also headquartered in Glendale is the Interactive department. So I believe the combination and the synchronization of Imagineering and Interactive to work on this project so that the Walt Disney Company can be the industry pioneer and the industry leader when it comes to the movie theater, interactive movie theater experience. It's going to be key that those 2 departments are situated so close to each other. And it's going to be a huge advantage when it comes to unveiling this product and making it work perfectly in sync. So again, my name is Santiago Ascanape, and I've been reaching out to some Imagineers on Twitter, and I got some feedback, and I thought I was going to get a tour of Imagineering and Interactive first week of February. This is 2019. I'm going to be there in Glendale and Burbank for almost an entire week, just kind of visiting and getting to know the area. And I would love more than anything to get a tour. Now, I hear from certain people in public relations and other personnel that you need a compelling business reason in order to be granted a tour or a meeting with the Imagineers or the Interactive department, which are the 2 departments that I'm very interested in. Hopefully the interactive movie theater experience, because I think it's incredibly compelling, and it's something that the Walt Disney Company needs to focus on immediately from a tech standpoint so that they're not left behind in the dust many years, few years later, when suddenly it does become this new emergent technology that takes over and becomes rampantly popular and is widely available. We don't want to play catch up, like in some ways, I hate to say it, we've been doing it on the D2C front. We want to avoid that type of same situation by, no, we came up with this first, we unveiled it at the parks, we came up with an original file type. So you know how there's .exe and .mp3 and .aiff in music. A binary file type, you come up with an original one, whether it be .dis or .molsi or .int for interactive. And that way you can corner the market on this technology so that it doesn't become this industry-wide unveiling. Rather, it becomes a Walt Disney innovative unveiling where everyone else is playing catch-up and the product is not too easy to replicate when it comes to competition. So these are just a few of my thoughts. I'd love to share more. I have a lot of drawings and I have some design ideas for the hardware. It's very simple, just 2 push buttons, maybe 4, but probably just 2 to start. And I probably have a common law patent on this idea, because if you YouTube and you Google around, you can't find anything except my original video, which I did about a year ago, regarding this idea. So, but common law patent aside, we want to secure authentic, genuine patents registered with the federal government so that we feel safe and sound moving forward with this technology, knowing that somebody else isn't going to take the credit for it first. So contact me at jack@molsi.net. That's jack@molsi.net. M-O-L-S-I, Molsi, M-O-L-S-I, Molsi, jack@molsi.net. And I'm going to keep reaching out to these Imagineers on Twitter. I'm going to make this video private because I don't want to share this with the whole world right away. I am going to develop this idea regardless of what happens with my relationship with Disney. But it would be a privilege for me, for a humble and inflexible salary, to be able to get into Glendale and work to help bring this technology, which I think is going to revolutionize cinema, bring it to life, and help spearhead this effort, which I think it's already long overdue. But if not, the clock is ticking and it's going to happen in the future, and we want to get ahead of the game. We want to get ahead of the ball. Okay? So I'm Santiago Ascanape. Big fan of the Disney company, and we can talk about that for hours and hours. I've read everything. I research everything. I know all the key figures. I respect all the key figures. They've shaped the way I think. They've influenced me greatly. I think it'll be a fantastic match, and we can get into that in any type of a meeting situation that arises. But this idea in itself is worth listening to because I believe it is going to revolutionize cinema, and it is going to be the future when it comes to mass media and entertainment. So thank you so much for listening. jack@molsi.net. Shoot me an email or just respond to my tweets. Have somebody respond to my tweets. And hopefully we can get a tour of these 2 campuses in the Glendale campuses first week of February 2019. Okay, thank you so much. Have a blessed day, and we'll be in touch. Thank you.